today's a big day. Yesterday, I got my first order of Premier Yarns in the mail. I have had it in this house since noon yesterday. Today's Friday. And I haven't opened it yet because it's been raining and I've had no good light. So we are tearing into my first order today and I am very excited. I have never used Premier. I have never seen it in person. So yesterday it was shoved in our mailbox, this giant bag. I don't know if you can tell. This giant bag was shoved in our mailbox by our mail person, and it was pouring down rain. So I understand why they didn't want to put it on the porch. But the bag got ripped when I was pulling it out of the mailbox. But none of the yarns got wet, thank goodness. But so here we go. We're gonna tear into it. Okay, so the first one we have, these are small. That feels good though. Okay, so the first one we have, this is light gray, cloudy day. This was the one that I was really, really excited about. This is Sundown. This is from their new color line. I love this. And then this one is Charcoal. Soft. Okay. And then we have Bright Pink. And Black. This is Light Blue. Let's see. I bought these for a pattern that I'm going to work on. And I don't remember what goes with what. And then I just got a skein of white. Skein of white. These two, you can probably guess, if you know me at all, what will be made with these two. And then I'm trying to write 2 different patterns. And I have it written down somewhere. But this and this and this, these 3, this is awkward. These 3, I think, will be one, and then these 3 will be another. And I'm excited to get working on those. And then, so those were the Parfait Chunky, and I just got 1 skein of them because I didn't know if I was actually gonna like it or not. And then I got 3 skeins of the Basics Chunky, the chenille Basics, for a project that I am working on. I like these. So I got Caramel. I think this is Kiwi. And this is Banana. You probably can guess what I'm gonna do with these. I wanted to do the Chunky in these colors also, but when I placed my order, they were out of like all of the browns. Like all of you guys that are getting Acorn, I don't know how you're doing it because it's just not there. But anyway, this is very awkward. I'm gonna be doing a Sunflower Turtle in these. I'm gonna get to work on that today. And I really like the Chenille Brights. These feel good. I've heard that this is comparable to blanket yarn. It's not as thick, but I like it and the colors are good. So, all right, that is my first Premier order. Maybe later on I'll film messing around with them for the first time. But there we go. This is really pretty. And like I said, I was really excited about this one. I've been wanting to order some of this since it came out. but I didn't know what I wanted to use it for. So I finally figured out a good idea. So yeah, I'm excited about all my new yarns, and I don't have anywhere to put them because I have no craft room. Hopefully that changes. But anyway, all right, let's get crocheting. Okay, so it's Saturday and I've just been doing some cleaning, and I've decided to tackle my yarn stash, which is not very big. I need to start making some slashers, and I'm just kind of taking stock right now to see what yarns I have so I can figure out who I can make. Okay, so this is all the yarn that I have, not counting my Premier order from the other day. But this is it. So, but again, I don't have a craft room, so space is kind of at a premium. So this, with the exception of this right here, this pile is Big Twist Posh. These are just some little scraps of Bernat Blanket. This yarn, this group right here, this is the Yarn Bee Cozy Occasion from Hobby Lobby, and I hate it. It kills my wrists. It's very stiff when you start using it, and like I said, it kills my wrists. It's not my favorite. And then I have the rest of this is just Bernat Blanket. Looking at what I have, I'm seeing this and this and this brown, and then I have this weird taupe color back here too. I think I can do a couple Jasons and then a couple Freddies. So I think I will get started on that. Okay, I forgot. This Bernat Tweeds, I forget what the color is called, but I like using this for Freddie's face in his hand. And then I've got this blue, so technically I could do some Michael Myers also. So now I just have to decide which one I actually want to make. I don't really have a whole lot of the white in the Cozy Occasion, which is about the same size. If I just change the hook, then I can use blanket yarn. And I do have probably plenty of white to make some little hockey masks out of that. I don't know. I'm very indecisive when it comes to what to make when I don't have like orders to fulfill. So I will probably sit and stare at all this for about 20 minutes until I decide who to make first. So if you are a new crocheter and you don't have like a yarn wall, this is my yarn corner. This is the corner of my living room. It looks awful and I hate it, but it's getting the job done right now. You know, one day I want to have a craft room, but right now, since my crochet business came out of nowhere, this is what we have right now, and this is where I'm just kind of stashing everything until we figure out what to do with it. But I've got down here in these two totes are the leftovers from my show, and then here's where I'm storing my Premier yarn. And then over here I've got my two big slashers in this tote. They're huge. And then I've got these two clear bins that have like admin stuff, the bottle of water that we drank at the reptile show, just my square reader, different things are in here, as well as stuff for my Etsy shop and my tablecloth, just different things like that. And then my pool noodles are for the my big slashers that I'm gonna make. This bag is some whips that I may not finish. They're just kind of there. And let's see, this black tote over here, this is so embarrassing. This black tote over here is like my acrylic yarn. I don't really use that very much because I don't like the way it feels. This Joann bag is a garbage bag. It has like all of the wrappers and everything in it. And then this is where I keep my safety eyes. This fabulous little storage container. Okay, I rattled Bee's cage. But this right now is where I have to keep my safety eyes. It's easy to grab, so that's where it is. Again, hopefully this changes, but I just, you know, like I said, this is very embarrassing because it is a mess and it's piled up, but I also wanted to just keep it real and show that I don't have like a cutesy room yet. So just stay tuned for that. Okay, so I'm back. I thought right now I would take this time to give like an honest review of part of the yarns that I ordered from Premier. So like I said, this is my first order. I've never used it, never touched it, never seen it in person. So I bought some skeins of the Parfait Chunky, which I haven't really used yet. And then I bought 3 skeins of the Basics Chenille, or Chenille Basics. Love the Chenille Basics. I'm partial to blanket yarn, and the Chenille Basics is not as thick, so it's a little bit easier to work with, so my hands don't get as tired as quick. So that's a huge bonus. Like I said, I made the sunflower turtle. If I can figure out how I'll put a picture over there, I might not figure that out by the time this video goes live, so who knows. I'm new at this, bear with me. But I love the Chenille Basics. And I know through April, it seems like it's on sale for $2.99. So I have almost $100 worth in a cart right now to get ready for my big show in July, which we will talk about in my next video next week. Now, as far as the Parfait Chunky goes, I've not had a chance to use it. This has not been a very prolific crochet week for me. I have some other things that are requiring my attention. Again, we'll talk about that in the next week's video. I did do one little quick thing with the skein of black that I ordered. And I can tell just from picking up the skein, the black felt a lot different than the other ones that I ordered. It doesn't feel as soft. And I could tell when I was crocheting with it that I didn't like it. And I was actually very worried. I was like, oh, super, I ordered this yarn and this is pretty much what I'm gonna need to use. And I don't like it. But I really do think that it was just that particular skein. Like it could have been whatever. Because like I said, the other ones don't feel as rough. They're very soft and they feel just a lot better. So I found a little quick pattern that I'm gonna work up, and that is gonna be what I base my review for Parfait Chunky on. And I will get to that here soon. So we're just gonna have to be patient. I haven't had a lot of time for crocheting, but I do wanna do that before this video comes out, and I'm hoping for that to be on Wednesday. So I'll be back with that little project here soon and my honest review of Parfait Chunky. So stick around. Okay, so I'm back. I've got my coffee. It's like 7:30 on Wednesday morning. Today's the day that I want this video to go live, so I need to like wrap all this up. I know in my last clip I said something about a little project that I was going to work on so I could use the Parfait Chunky. Because I have a lot going on this week, I scrapped that idea. But I did go ahead and start writing this pattern that I've had in my mind. The entire reason why I ordered the yarn that I did, the colors, was for these 2 little patterns that I'm writing. And the other night I just had like you've got to get this going right now. So I started on that and I'm almost finished with one of them. And I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I can't wait to show it off and get it out there. So unfortunately, I don't have like a real time reaction, you know, oh, this is how I feel about this yarn. So I just thought I would, you know, end the video by just, you know, giving my first impressions of the Parfait Chunky. And that is, and this is completely honest, I'm not being sponsored or anything. But if, you know, Premier, if you want to, I'm here. I love this yarn. It is an absolute dream to work with. It's very soft, like I had mentioned in another clip about the black feeling rough. It does, and it's probably just that skein because the other ones that I have, the other ones that I ordered, they do not feel like that at all. I was primarily working with the charcoal, which I know is part of the new color line, I think. So the formula might be a little different than some of the older ones. But it's incredible. I love it. It will be one of my new yarns. It is so good. It was soft and it was easy to work with. Of course, the only thing that I really ran into a problem with is frogging, but I mean, that is to be expected with a chenille yarn like this. Because I was designing this pattern from scratch, you know, there's some trial and error with that. So, you know, like I couldn't get this magic ring frogged all the way, and I had already done it a couple of times, so the yarn was starting to look pretty sad. You know, like this isn't as bad as some of the other ones, but you can see, you know, how some of the little fuzzies popped out. But anyway, and like I said, that's to be expected, so that's not like a knock against it or anything, but I love this yarn. It was great to work with. The size is working up perfectly for what I wanted. There are several patterns that I own that I'm going to go back and rework in the Parfait Chunky because I think, like I said, the size is perfect. When I first ordered it, I was afraid that it was going to be too small, but I love it. So this is definitely going to be my new yarn. But that's my honest, non-sponsored review on the two types of Premier yarns that I ordered. I'm primarily, like, I like to work with the polyester yarns. I don't like the way acrylic yarn feels. That's just my opinion. Plus, the thinner yarns are a little hard for me to see. And it hurts my hands. I don't like working with it. I will if I have to, but it's just not my favorite. So I'm looking forward to ordering some more for the big show that I have coming up soon, which if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you already know what it is. But I haven't like done anything on my YouTube channel to talk about it yet, but I think that's going to be in my next video. That's going to be like a coffee chat and life updates, some big things. So come back next week for that. And as always, if you have stuck around this long, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to growing this channel, and then hopefully at some point I have an idea for some tutorials that I want to have on here. I just need to work out the whole space issue because right now I'm sitting in a chair in my living room in front of a window. This is where I crochet, so, and it's not really, I have no table space or anything, so it's not the best spot for filming anything, but we're making it work until I have something better. So anyway, I hope you come back next week, and if, God, here we go, and if you liked what you saw, like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, and I will see you guys next week. So happy crocheting.